Inspiration in Holderness. The Holderness coast is wild, in parts desolate. Crashing waves in winter, inspirational, awesome. The seagulls cry and lament, sometimes sounding like a soul in torment. Beauteous, magnificent, terrible. To these parts in World War One came a man sick, in ill health. He would later be one of the most famous on earth, a man who was inspired by this land. He was weary and with trench fever. He stayed and worked in places familiar to us now, Hornsey, Roos, Withernsea amongst them. He started to create here his own mythology. While his wife came to be by his side, she danced and sang in woodland, and his imagination ran wild. He started to create his own Elvish language, and yes, his name was Tolkien. Edith, his wife, moved around but ended up in Withernsea, living a while, in a house on Queen Street, now a cafe. Odd to think that you can dine where Edith Tolkien lived. The Lifeboat Cafe, a good place to eat. In Roos, which he much preferred to Hornsey, he found a bogland, and it may be that this was the inspiration for The Dead Marshes, in his later work so famed. He was stationed with thousands of others at Mona House, still standing there today, so few aware that it was a military base, proudly overlooking the road. He certainly was inspired in and by Holderness, that part of Yorkshire so unspoilt. His later time in Tunstall, Easington and Kilnsea, battled by the power of sea in winter, full of cold and bleakness, filled his mind, inspired him. The wind and the waves and the gulls moving his soul, making his imagination glow, and create works of majesty which flowed through his pen. From small beginnings on the coast, while weary and ill, came the eventual majesty of his work.